hope you're all doing well with something on your needles, most likely. Welcome to Day to Day Knits episode. I think this is 38. It feels like not a long time has passed since last time. Please ignore this moving. It's in front of an air vent and I had to turn the air on for the attic. Although it's not super hot outside, the attic is quite warm. Okay, so I don't know where I was. I got the glimpse of that moving and it's bothering me. Okay, so anyway, this is going to be a super fast episode because I am only going to talk about 2 real projects. And I did 2 washcloths. That was really in preparation for my class. I'm going to do a workshop tomorrow and a week from tomorrow where I'm just going to help brand new knitters do a washcloth just so that they can learn the most basic stitches. But let me talk about what I'm wearing today. This is the Casper Camisole by, I don't know how to pronounce this name. First name is Johanna or Johanna, or I don't know, I'm sorry. Last name Gehrisch or Gehrisch or something similar to that, I hope. I have all the information written below so you can check there always. And even though my photos are not up to date on my Ravelry, my projects are. So the information is there. So this is the Casper Camisole. Sorry, this is the Casper Camisole. It is part linen, which is why this was laying down in a weird position, and so you can see these marks. But it's part linen, and I think the rest is alpaca and silk. It has a really beautiful drape, as you can see. It is very light. It is a little warm, but not too warm. And I really like it. I think it's really nice. And for this yarn is Flax fingering, which is a Camellia Camellia Fiberworks yarn. It is in one of my favorite colors that she makes, which is gosh, I forget. I'm so close. It's not linen, but it's similar to that. Lichen. It's lichen. Lichen. Okay. Silly me. All right, this top, I explained it last time, so I'll just do a little quick summary of how it's built. But first you start on this double hem, then you do short rows because the front part is higher than the back part. So you do short rows for the chest. And then you start on the back and then you start going all around. And finally you do the straps. Now I think I could have done my straps a little higher, but this works too. Yeah, it's just like my bra starts here, so it's really fine. It draped a little bit more when it was then blocking, or not draped. That's not the right word. It's stretched just a little bit more than what I was expecting when I finished blocking, because I thought maybe it would end like right about there, but it's not there. It's just a little lower, but that's fine. It works out fine. And there is a trick, if I want to, where I can put an elastic inside of the strap, because the strap is another double knitted hem. So I could do that if, I don't know, throughout the years it keeps dropping more, then I can resort to that if I have to. Okay, and then at the end, it's not very noticeable. I'm going to get close to the camera so y'all can see, but at the very end, I put the same beads that I worked on the shawl, the Wild Swan, which is also a green. It's just a slightly bluer green, and it's a different brand. And that one I think was 100% silk. It was Tynn, I think. And yeah, so I'll just show you the beads. I just had like 30 or so extras, so I just put them at the bottom. Let's see. Right there is one. Right here, right here. It is a little hard to tell. So, super happy with this. I think it can look casual. You could wear it with jeans, or you could like fancy it up. Maybe not wear it to a church or any sort of religious place, just because it's so bare at the top, unless you want to wear a shawl on top, a little cardigan. But I could easily just put the blazer on, put some nicer pants, and wear this to work. Yeah, and today I just have some linen pants. I was working from home, and it feels like it's an appropriate outfit for the beach. Maybe going out for dinner, which today I'm not, because I'm gonna cook dinner. But there we are. It works for all types of situations, almost, really. And this project, at least on this size, I was able to use a whole skein, one full skein, and that was it. I don't think I used extras. And it's really wide. I think that I did change something. I knitted longer than what they asked for, and I can't remember how they or she suggests that we bind off, but I bound off using the I-cord bind off, which took up a lot of yarn. I think it ate basically the little yarn I had left. But I thought that would be like a nice clean finish, and since it's so flowy, it would be nice not to have a very hard stop like with ribbing or anything like that. So I'm really pleased with it, really happy. And I guess now would be a good time to show you, oh, there they are, my washcloths. I did two. This is for week 1. I love this pooling. I just love it. I love this pooling. This is Knit Picks yarn Dishie, Dishie, D-I-S-H-I-E, and the color is Sailboat, which today I went on their website just to verify I had the right color right instead of opening my Ravelry, and I could not find it. So I don't know if they're just out of stock right now or something, but I love it. I love it. I love it. It has my favorite color, yellow, Joseph's favorite color, blue. He just prefers a different shade, a more deeper blue, and white, which goes well in every home. So I'm really pleased at how this one turned out. I love the pooling. Of all the things I'm knitting that have pooled, this one is my favorite. And this was like super easy. Basically, we're just practicing knit stitches, and at the end, we're doing an I-cord using slip stitches. It's truly super simple. Now this one, I haven't bound off, I just finished blocking. And this is where I started, and then I realized I needed 2 more rows, but I did the right amount of rows at the top. But basically there's eyelets all around, and then in the center, slip stitches for decoration. I like this one too. The other one I'm calling the everyday washcloth because it's so simple. This one I'm calling the elevated washcloth. And that's just because we're incorporating like 5 more stitches. We're doing slip, slip, knits, knit 2 togethers, I-cord, purls, and slip stitches, as well as knit. And the border is just knit on both ends. Yeah, so I hope people like it. The most simple one will be next week, and basically we're just gonna practice over and over how to do a knit stitch, how to hold our needles. As people go ahead and make mistakes, we're just gonna go over how to fix those together, why those are happening, etc. And yeah, I also did videos that I was gonna put on YouTube on like me knitting the washcloth from beginning to end, but for some reason those videos are not downloading to my computer. I've had this issue before and the people at the Apple Store did not know how to fix it, and now it's happening again. It stopped for a while, but now it's happening again. I just don't know what to do. So there might not be any videos, which is a shame because I worked hard on those. And now I have a whip. So this is the gingerbread sweater. It is my Espace Tricot, and I'm using 4 different yarns for it. I am starting with Oregon Coastal Heather, I think is the name. And it's this yarn that from afar may look like, oh, it's like a beige or a light brown, right? But it has so many colors in it. I hope that you'll be able to see it when I zoom in. It has blue and pink. It has some greenish tones too. I hope you were able to see that. I really like it. It's like mother of pearl, or I don't know, something like that. It's beautiful. There's just so many colors put together, and then in the end it creates this beautiful brown. So that is my base. I'm using this one throughout the whole sweater. Sleeves, body, ribbing, etc. Then on all the ribbing, I'm using this Mohair, as well as 3 out of every 4 rows. I had 2 skeins of this, which were not enough for a whole sweater, but was enough for 3/4 of a sweater. So on the ribbing, I'm using it all the rows, and on the sleeves and body, it's 3 out of every 4. And I don't have a tag here, so I'm gonna have to go to my laptop and see what it says. Okay. So the orange is Garn Kidsilk Erle. The color is 9036, so 9036, and it's just this like orangey. And if I'm not mistaken, this was Inga from Knitting Traditions. She's the one that gave me. And it was almost enough for a sweater. If it were like a less poofy sweater, I think it would have worked. Then, oh no, I don't have one of the yarns here, I don't think. Unless it's inside one of these jars. Then I have one more yarn, and one of my friends suggested that I put it in a plastic bag while I travel. And I had all of them in plastic bags, but I started new skeins on the other ones. This one, it's going to be the same skein to the end. And this one is a pink. It's called Dusty Old Pink, I think. No, Dark Old Pink. 4244, Dark Old Pink. And it's a Sandnes Garn Kidsilk Mohair. I'm also really enjoying that. I'll take it out of the plastic bag. So silly. It's really pretty. Look at that. I really like it. And this one is the one that I'm mixing with the orange so that I have enough yardage for the whole sweater. So this one, I'm doing 3 rows with the Knit Picks palette in the Oregon Coastal Heather. I'm using the orange with that one for 3 rows. And then the 4th row, I'm doing the Knit Picks palette Oregon Coastal Heather with this. And then, I think it's in this drawer, although it could be in that drawer. It's not this one. I'm keeping my yarn in candy jars, as you see. I would like to have more because I had to buy some, like, as you can tell there. That's just one of those, like, I don't know, cheaper see-through boxes that clip on the side so the moths can't get in. But I really like these jars, but they're kind of expensive, so I could not buy enough for all of my yarn because I have 4 of those boxes. Each one of those boxes probably holds enough for 2 jars. Then I have 3 more boxes over there. And then I have yarn that is surrounding me that is not in boxes. So, okay, let's see. It's kind of heavy. You can see it there. It's here. No, it's not here. Could it be there? I know it's in one of these, and it's not a very big skein. I don't think it's in this one. Oh, it is! No, it isn't. I did look into using these, but I ended up not. I'm gonna save them for something else. But it is another alpaca. Don't know where it is. It's somewhere in here. But I could be wrong. I could have moved it. I might have moved it. Oh well. But it is, the other one is Store Alpakka Dreamline Air 119 DI, I think. I think it ends with DI. It could be DL though. And it's a brown, and that's another one that Inge gave me. And it was 2 skeins, and I'm only going to use 1 skein for this one, this project. And that skein I'm only using at the ribbing up here, and well, wherever else ribbing needs to go. And I thought I could put this on for you guys so you could see. I don't know where I did. Oh, these. No, not these. Oh, here. Okay. These are the needles and the cable that I'm using. These are from my, what do you call it? Gosh, there's a word for this. Interchangeable. These are my interchangeable needles. And I'm using a US 3 or a 3.25 millimeters. And I'm knitting the smallest size of the gingerbread sweater. Now this sweater, because it's a Espace Tricot pattern, it is free. And as far as I know, it has not been tested. I can tell you that I did not like at all the instructions for the short rows. I thought they were very confusing. It is not, from all the different patterns by different designers that I've seen on how to do short rows, I've never seen one that did the increases at the same time that this one does. And it explained the way to do the short rows in a weird way, where it had, I think, 8 different steps, and you had to repeat those 8 different steps several times, but each step is not a row. Some steps are a whole row, some steps are half a row, and then some steps say repeat, say, step 3, which is the first part of the row, but don't repeat step 4, which is the second part of the row. Instead, go to the step that's afterwards and do that. It was very confusing. But other than that, I'm mostly really enjoying the sweater. Now let's see. This is the back. I've made a few changes and I'm going to be making a few more, and let me go over those once I have it on. Perfect. Okay, so well, one of the things is I don't like this neckline. I either need to have a wide neckline, or I like something closer to the neck like this. So one thing I'm considering, especially because this is going to keep opening as I put it on and off, which this is only the second time I'm doing this. I am considering ripping out this ribbing, which is only 1 inch. Maybe do 1 or 2 more rounds of decreases and then redoing the ribbing with maybe 1.5 inches, so that it closes a little bit of this gap. Especially also because the sweaters that I have, they're usually, the sweaters that I have, they're usually like, they're up to here, and I don't want to necessarily see the sweater I have underneath. So it's neither wide enough nor it is close enough to the neck. Now, if you look up this pattern on Ravelry and you look for people's different projects, you'll see that the necklines vary a lot. And that is because the designer has us cast on, I think this is the reason. The designer has us cast on several stitches, obviously, otherwise you couldn't put your head through, but different sizes are casting on the same number of stitches. So this is the smallest size, and it's starting to rain. I love this day. This day is being great. The weather is just fabulous. Just cloudy and cozy. Okay, so as I was saying, the first 3 or 4 sizes are all casting the same number of stitches. And this is a very like big pattern with a lot of ease, and it is a little strange that people that are going to vary so much in every other dimension are all going to start with the same number of stitches to cast on. Now, my gauge might not be correct, like precisely, but still, people have very different neck sizes. Like 1 inch can make a bit of a difference. 2 inches will make a lot of difference. And my neck is not very wide. Some people have wider necks, or more, I don't know how to say it, but more shaped necks with like more happening here. So this would sit like above and closer to the face. But at least as of right now, my neck doesn't have much of a curve happening. So this is just sitting very low and very wide. Anyway, so that's one thing I'm considering changing when I'm done. Something else that I've changed was when she asked us to, this is the same number of stitches from beginning of the sleeve till you get to the wrist, and then you have 1 round of decreases, at least for my size. I did that round and it was still very wide, so then I did another round of decreases. So I decreased the stitches to probably half instead of from 3/3 to 2/3. And it is beautiful. I'm loving it. Love a poofy sleeve. especially if I'm going to wear layers. Also something else, and I like not wide sleeves generally. Sometimes I do wear something with a wide sleeve, but generally speaking, I like something that doesn't have a wide sleeve, unless it's like a cardigan, so that nothing is like pulling my sleeve like a door handle or something. And it just feels cozier. And then if I'm wearing gloves, I can place the gloves over my sleeves. And I also knit them longer. I think that the designer asks us to do maybe 1 inch, which is the same thing we did here. 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters. And I did something closer to 3 centimeters for my wrists. So that's something else. And then I think that I'm supposed to be at a place where I need to be binding off, or actually it has a split hem, which I don't think I've ever knitted. I think that I've had patterns that ask for that and I opted not to do it. I'm considering doing it this time, but I'm not entirely sure. Because I sort of want to knit it maybe just a few more centimeters, so it sits just above wherever my jeans would close. And then I'm just considering doing exactly what I have here, but for the body, where it just cinches up at the waist. I think I would like that more. Yeah, I'm really considering doing that. I think it would be really cute and a little vintage looking. Yeah, since I'm almost there, if I put this inside, my jeans would sit here, so it might be there. This means I'm not going to be using as much yarn as I thought I would. I'm trying to run out of my yarn. Obviously, that is an impossibility for several years, especially because every now and then I buy more yarn. I started trying to actively not buy as much yarn in December. I started December with 276 skeins. That's not skeins of 100 grams necessarily. I have several skeins with 50 grams, and I have some that are minis, and I'm still counting the minis. If it's less than the mini amount, then I'm not counting. I started with 76 in December. Then January, I started with 75. February, I started with 288, so I went up. In March, I started with 283, so went down a little bit. In May, down to 275, so I was like at the same place that I was in December. 5 months to undo the damage. And then, 274. June, back to 282. July, 285. Not doing great. And it was a whole sweater, gosh. This sweater I think I've used so far maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've used maybe 4 or 5 skeins for this sweater, like fully. And then I have 4 more that I've started but have not finished. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh my god, and I have new yarn. It's in my freezer. I'm gonna go get it. That's right, I have the yarn. I am horrible. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, I did a workshop. My friend Jane Olsen, she did a watercolor workshop in Clarksville, so I went up there for that. And then that same day, I came back down in a rush to try to make it to the end of the Super Summer Knit Along, which is a festival here in Nashville. I think it's a week long if you want to participate in the different workshops. But then Saturday is the day that there are vendors. And in the morning, if you participated in the workshops, in the morning you can come, but if you're like me and you didn't, then you can only go in the afternoon to buy your yarn, right? I got some Christmas presents. I was mostly there to look for Christmas presents. But I went to Camellia Fiber. Camellia. That yarn, oh my god, I got more Lichen, basically. I got more Lichen. I just did it. Arrgh. And I'm gonna do a sweater with it, and it's actually going to be pretty similar to this. Like, probably a little tighter, but still pretty similar. So, I'm gonna go get my yarn. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna take this off. It's really warm. Yeah. God. Ah. All right, I will be right back. This is turning out to be longer than what I thought it would be. Okay, so. Gosh, it's so cool. I got a sweater's quantity of Camellia Fiber Company yarn. The owner is Sylvia Rowe, and she does an amazing job. Look, it matches. Ah! Basically, I'm gonna have a layer to put over this one. All right, so this is organic merino worsted, which is just 100% organic merino wool. 100 grams is 200 meters or 218 yards. It is not superwash. And it's just worsted yarn in the most beautiful color that I am going to mix with a mohair that I have over there to make a sweater. I'm really excited about it. I keep going back and forth on how I want the waist to work versus the sleeves. But I am looking forward to this. Yes, indeed, I am. So I got that. Then I went around. I was like, I have just enough to buy something else. And then I've been looking at this on Sylvia's website, Camellia Fiber Company's website, for months. It's a single color. There's no other colors, just this like natural color. And this is Lupine Bulky Boucle. And it is 70% Highland wool and 30% superfine alpaca. Beautiful. The color is Moonflower, but like I said, I don't think there's any other colors. I think it's just this like creamy, natural goodness. It is not superwash. It is 100 grams, 87 yards. And I am considering making a decorative pillowcase. Like something very simple, white, to go with our house, and just the most beautiful, comfortable pillow. I think it would be the cutest little pillow that looked like a sheep. And so I went to pay for this, and I met Natalie from Nitty Natty. She's taller than what you'd think on her like podcast on YouTube. She's super friendly too. But anyway, we were both looking at Camellia Fiber Company's yarn. Holding this one upside down. Okay, there we go. And so I went to pay, and Sylvia, she is so generous. She always takes me by surprise. Anyway, she gifted me these 2 yarns because I had already, first I had put the other order and I had paid for it, and then I went to pick it up. Then I went to go, see what else was in the space. And then I just kept thinking about this yarn, so I went back for it. And then because I didn't have to pay for this one, on my way out, I grabbed this other guy from a different place. This is Spotted Circus, the website is spottedcircus.com. And I felt like I had to take this because it made me think of woodland animals. The white is more of like a creamy beige. And then you have gray, but it's like slightly different shades of gray. And then you have 2 different shades of brown. And it just made me think of like rabbits and squirrels, boars, foxes, all sorts of woodland creatures. And this is a sock yarn, but it's DK. It's a Superwash BFL. And the color is Driftwood Lot B. 100 grams, 335 yards. And I'm thinking I could just make little like woodland animal socks. I don't know how to do that. I don't know if I do anything special. Maybe I would do little ears or something coming out of the socks. Oh, but it's so cute. It is so cute. I'm looking forward to trying this one and see how the stripes turn out. So that's the yarn I got. Those are all my projects. I hope you guys enjoy this. I said it was going to be short, but I'm on 40 minutes already. Hopefully this will upload onto my laptop and I'll be able to put it on YouTube. We'll see. So, okay. Oh, one more thing. Sorry, just before you leave. This was a suggestion by my mother-in-law, Sherry. She watched Shetland, the TV show, and I've been having it like in my mind to watch when I feel like watching a murder show, and I wanted to feel like sort of cozy, so I started watching it. And like every other scene, someone's wearing a cabled sweater or a colorwork sweater, and I'm just loving it. Just that is enough for me to love it. Although the scenery is beautiful too. It's all gray and then beautiful lush green. So that's a TV show suggestion for you guys. Anyway, happy knits, fabulous adventures with fiber and knots. Hope you all enjoy your summer or your winter, depending on where you are in the world. And I will see you next time. Bye!